Welcome to episode 19 of the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. My name is Lori and I'm here with my bestie, Laura Lee.
Hey, how you doing, girl?
Hey, how are ya?
Good.
We are here to talk to you today about getting our kicks.
On Route 66.
We got a little bit of the giggles and we haven't even started into our drink yet.
I think we tried to do the intro like 5 times.
Yeah, because
And I had the same thing happen to me last week, so we don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I think we're getting more comfortable with all of this, so we're just a little bit more relaxed and not really thinking, or I wasn't thinking before I opened my mouth.
It's all good, girl. It's all good.
I had no goal in mind when I started.
Yeah, but no, we're gonna talk about kicks on Route 66 today.
Yes, we are. The Williams Route 66 Marathon is our marathon we'll be discussing today.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma,
where the breeze sweeps over the plains.
Yes, something like that.
We will be discussing Miller Lite. Shots.
Shot. Lots of shots.
Everybody.
Ooh, lots of shots. I think I left my liver in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, we did. And the center of the universe. It's kind of a strange phenomenon.
Yes.
Please take a moment to check out our socials. We appreciate all of you that are tuning in.
Like
Enjoy
us.
it.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Download, subscribe, whatever you need to do.
Join us on YouTube.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Totally.
Anyhow, our beverage of the week, Laura.
You chose this one. So a little bit of background on Tulsa. Like we said, there were a lot of shots done in Tulsa. We'll give you a little bit of background here in a couple minutes about it. But there were so many things that were consumed. We're like rock, paper, scissors on what we're going to go and drink tonight and to commemorate that race. So instead, my lovely friend decided to grab us some Winks. And Winks are these great drinks, 0 calories and 0 sugar,
which is the bonus.
But
it does sometimes come with a wicked case of munchies.
Yes, because they have 5 milligrams of THC and 5 milligrams of CBD in them. Yeah. It's 12 fluid. I said fluid. I haven't even drank this yet. Fluid ounces. And this one is a lime twist, which I haven't tried yet. I usually am like the berry girl.
Yeah.
So
no, me too. But the lime, actually, I've had it. It's pretty good.
So we're gonna oink tonight.
Yes.
and do some marijuana drinks.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry for however this episode tends to unfold tonight.
So sorry.
And I do believe that the Winks are a PA-based company, and it's WYNK, and you can order them online.
I didn't know that. It's East Greenville, PA.
Yeah. And we're not, again, sponsored by anybody.
No, we're totally not.
At all. I had happened to have found these through our neighbor up in the Adirondacks. Their daughter works for the company, and I realized you could order these online and have it delivered to the house.
Yeah, and we usually have them, and it's kind of they're like a nice seltzer.
Yeah,
all
and
right,
0 calories is perfect.
Let's see if I can do this into the microphone.
Oh, that was good timing.
Oh, that was good. Oh, I squirted you
just
too.
like on a race course. She can't keep her liquid to herself over there. Cheers, my friends.
Cheers, my friends. Here we go.
Here's to Route 66 Marathon. And that crazy chaos of a race.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's very light.
Yeah, that doesn't have, it's not like the berry one where it has more of the marijuana aftertaste.
Yeah, no, that's very...
Yeah, no, I like that one.
That's delicious,
yeah, that's
actually.
That's really good. Oh, that could be really dangerous.
Very dangerous. So, Laura... Epic week update. You were coming in hot.
I came in so hot today. In fact, I haven't showered yet today. It was Memorial Day weekend, and so we did a lot of hosting and a lot of socializing this weekend. My parents came down to the Chesapeake with us, and on Friday night we had our neighbors Joe and Patty, who are in their 80s. Patty is 86.
Oh, wow.
And they came over for dinner, and it was absolutely, they're just a lovely couple that have really welcomed us into like the little enclave, of houses there.
Yeah.
And with my parents being in their 80s.
Which ones are they?
They're the ones with the big dogs across the lane.
With the Great Dane.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, they have a Great Dane that's like 170 pounds. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had them over for dinner, and they totally hit it off with my parents.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So that was a late night, and then we had you guys over, family friends over on Saturday,
and that was all day.
Oh, that was all day, and we just ate. We ate all day.
Lord, just like our little party, with the
girls,
the Harry Potter and the girls. Like, you walk in, it's amazing. Everything's.
Well, you guys all bought food and stuff, so it's like it just,
we did store-bought stuff because we were in the middle of our own.
I did store-bought stuff too. I just put it into
but
regular
there was
bowls.
all sorts of. There was like a whipped ricotta something.
Oh yeah, I did make a couple things. Yeah, okay.
And then there was that tomatoey thing that Julie brought.
Oh, that was delicious.
It was really good. It was like basil. It was like
she said it was the Boursin cheese, right? Yeah. Like spread. And then you take tomatoes and chop it up with some basil and then balsamic.
The drizzle, it was really good.
That was like crack.
Yeah, I couldn't. And whatever crackers those were that she had with them was really good too. Those were different.
I don't know. I got a spoon.
Go, Julie.
I got a spoon, and I decided to do that without the spoon, without the cracker.
Should.
But yeah, so Saturday was a blast. The only want thing here in the Northeast is that it was much like unseasonably cool for this weekend.
Much, yeah.
So maybe around 67, 68 degrees. It was nice in the sun when the wind wasn't blowing, but we couldn't do really anything on the water on Saturday. So we were a little bummed that we didn't get a boat day in. And then yesterday, so we were recording today on Monday, but yesterday we went down to Maddie, our daughter-in-law's house.
And how far are they from you?
It was about a 55-minute drive.
Oh, so pretty far down.
Yeah. They're almost they're almost in Kent Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we went down to their place on the Chesapeake because they just bought that last year. And Rhonda, Maddie's mother-in-law, or I guess, how do you call them? Our in-laws? Like,
they're in-laws.
Yeah. So she had some of her cousins over, and that was super nice to have, just get to learn, new people and good conversation. And so and then today we were back at it with projects and what have you at the house. So
it was such a beautiful day up here. Like, we finally had like a decently warm day.
We got some boat time in.
You did?
We did.
Okay,
we did. Yeah. Good. After my parents left this morning, Jim and I hopped in the boat for a little spin, and we went all the way down.
Wait, how did they get home?
Oh, they drove.
Oh, they drove down.
Yeah, my dad drove down.
Oh, I thought that you picked them up and
I was going to, but they decided that they were going to be independent. That my father is almost 82 and my mom is 80, and they are still driving.
Yeah.
And yep. So it's just like, hey, just text me when you get in.
Yep.
So it just really, just fun couple of days. You guys had something very exciting happen in the Feckman family.
Yes, my mom flew in on Thursday. Because DJ graduated from the University of Delaware on Friday.
DJ, cheers.
Woo-hoo, cheers to DJ.
Cheers to DJ.
That's a good cheers.
That's a good cheers.
Yeah. And he is currently up at Cranberry Lake with 3 to 4 of his friends.
Outstanding.
Having a blast catching fish. They got up there late last night, I guess. So, yeah, he graduated on Friday. We had a lovely little lunch with the whole family, all the grandparents and everything. Then we left. We were at your house on Saturday. And then yesterday, my mom left, and Maggie and I, with my mom. My mom's a big decorator, kind of like Laura. And Maggie, who has just moved out with Connor, was like, I need to get rugs and stuff. So we went out and had a lovely little lunch because Phoenixville closes off Bridge Street.
Yes.
During certain hours.
Oh, is it for
Friday,
like restaurants?
Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
It's every Saturday and Sunday now through the rest of the summer.
Very cool.
And Friday evenings too, right? So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For the rest of the summer. So we went down there and had brunch.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
And it was really good. where were we at? Rivertown Taps. And the food was fabulous. I got an old fashioned from there.
Yeah.
The bourbon was washed in duck fat.
Wait, what?
A bourbon washed in duck fat old fashioned.
Oh my God. Like, what did that taste like? Like, did it have like a little salty taste to it?
No, it was smooth.
Wow.
Like all the bitterness of the bourbon was so smooth. And Maggie's like, oh, let me take a taste because she doesn't really like bourbon, and she was like, yeah.
Nice.
I even like this old fashioned. And supposedly Bluebird, they got the idea from Bluebird Distilling, which is also in Phoenixville.
Yeah.
They do a bacon washed bourbon old fashioned there. I'm like, well, I know where I'm going next weekend.
Well, yeah. So now I need to add that on my list of places y'all need to go and bring me to. So that sounds absolutely fabulous. Love it. Love it.
So, that was pretty much our weekend.
So did you find Maggie and Connor some rugs and
yes,
stuff? Did you have success?
Yes, we had success in that. And we have poor Mari, so DJ's girlfriend. She is from Southern Georgia, and she, is looking for a job up here, and they've both just graduated, and so they're not started their jobs yet.
Yeah.
So we have said, by all means, you guys move in with us until you figure your stuff out. So DJ moves in, all his stuff in, turns around and leaves. And then poor Mari has to come by herself. I'm helping her move stuff in. And she's just like, God bless her. She's just there hanging out with us.
Oh, I love it.
But I love it because she's like completely at home. And that makes me just feel so good.
Yeah, that's going to make you feel good.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So it'll be a fun few months.
That's cool. Love it. That's cool. Well, you know what? That's what we're here for as parents.
Exactly.
So, and sometimes, it just takes a little while to go and
a soft lunch.
And absolutely. Or I loved it that, like when Maddie went to law school, she came back home for 3 years and, we just helped her save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Instead of, kind of struggling through law school and then, afterward, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point in that?
Yeah.
And then selfishly as parents, especially because we like our kids.
Yes, exactly.
That it's so nice to like have them back.
Yeah.
But then eventually it's like, okay, now you need to move out again.
Yeah. This has been nice.
This has been nice.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All that stuff on Instagram. Toodaloo, motherfucker.
But Linda, listen, Linda. All right. Okay. So
should we dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in, Matt, as we digress. All right, so
as we're getting deeper into our winks.
All right, so we ran the Route 66 marathon on Jim's birthday in 2018.
Poor
so
Jim.
the 18th of November in 2018.
Yes.
So why? So this was like a week after we ran the Outer Banks Marathon that we just talked about last episode. So if you haven't heard that one, go back and listen to it. That one was a good episode.
It was.
So why did we run this one?
The reputation.
And what was that reputation?
It is a reputation. It has the reputation of being a party race from beginning to end.
What?
Beginning to end. It is a party race.
Party.
Yes. The whole ambiance around this race is amazing. I think also this one and the Flying Pig has that reputation too, although we got that in a weird COVID year.
Yeah, that one was a little wah-wah for us.
Yeah, but we got Route 66 in full force.
I think Route 66, like we got it in such full force that it made up for like not having it in Flying Pig.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree with that. Yeah. I remember kind of being on the plane the day after coming home being like, what the hell just happened? Like that escalated really quickly, But yeah, so the reputation it's extremely well organized, well attended. They do, we've mentioned in the past that we are part of these separate clubs, the 50 States Marathon Club, and I'm sporting my tank top with that today. Also the Marathon Maniacs and Half Fanatics, which they're kind of sisters of the same club. They really cater to those particular running groups as far as their race goes. They offer all sorts of special amenities, which was even an added bonus to choosing this race for Oklahoma. Like we have our medals, which we'll get into
In a little bit.
But they do like a special ribbon for Marathon Maniacs, or 50 states. They have separate.
Yes.
They have like a special VIP tent pre and post race. It's just, they really cater to the runners.
Yeah. And when you join these clubs, or you earn the status in the clubs, they're absolutely fantastic. Both the Marathon Maniacs as well as the 50 State Club, where they will send you not only emails and alerts and so forth, but also they have monthly newsletters.
Yeah.
The 50 State Club, they have a newspaper, which is kind of cool. It's like old fashioned, but I love it because I love getting in the mail and like just kind of tearing through it.
Yeah.
And they give, an update of who has earned their statuses, what races are coming up, that type of stuff.
Yeah. They also do, I know Marathon Maniacs, I think more so than 50 States Club, because I've done it more through them. They offer discounts. And I'm pretty sure we had a Marathon Maniac discount.
Yes, I think
like
we
a
did.
$20 discount for registering.
And it helps.
A code.
It helps because, these races, some of them are really not cheap.
No, especially with flights and hotels.
Yes.
And do you remember where we stayed?
I think we stayed at the Courtyard Marriott in downtown. We definitely stayed at a Marriott. I want to say it was the
Marriott.
Courtyard.
Okay.
Because it was really centrally located. We could walk to the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we did not rent a car.
We did not rent a car.
And it was kind of like this was the last race that we were like, if we're traveling like this, we have to rent a car.
Yes.
Because we'd driven to a lot of our races prior to this. This is where we start really having to reach to get some of our states. And I remember we were looking through things to do in Tulsa, and there was like a giant yarn ball or something, like a typical Route 66 weird object that you would want to go see. Do you remember that?
Oh, wasn't it like the big giant like oil guy?
There was yes. Yeah, it is the oil guy, or
like
oil can thing. Yes.
Yeah.
It is the oil guy.
Yeah, and so we realized that there isn't as much to do in downtown Tulsa that we thought, and we wanted to hit some things outside of it. So we definitely used Uber and Lyft, which were available at the time in 2018. Yeah. But after that, we were like, we definitely need to go and have a car. And have a car.
No matter do what.
Yeah. Yeah. So that way we had the flexibility. But I see in your notes that the courses changed though.
Just a hair. I guess in 2022 they realized there's a lot that weaves downtown, and you go through a lot of neighborhoods. There's a long section of several miles where you go up along the river, and they had the road shut down, and we were on the road. But I remember that beautiful linear park off to our left as we were running.
Yes.
And so you do go back up that road, but then you come back along the trail in the park, because the half and the full split when you get back up to the top of the road.
Okay.
The half goes into town and finishes, and now they bring the marathoners back, whereas we kind of went back in through town and did like another loop out and about.
It was nice going back through town because with this race being a party race, the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma,
oh my gosh,
they participate as spectators.
Yes, they do.
And every single neighborhood had their own party going on with themes.
Drinks, like just. Oh my gosh.
So let's set the stage. So when we started running, we got to, I don't even think we were at like mile 3 yet. And being that this was it was like towards the end of November, close to December.
Yeah.
There was a dude dressed up in a Santa outfit, and he had this huge, I don't know if it was a station wagon or an SUV, but he had a hatchback. And he had drinks and jello shots and like rum chata shots. I know I did rum chata shots.
Oh, that was the rum chata shot that I saw. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did rum chata shots and jello shots.
Yes.
And this was not even like mile 3. And I'm like, oh, we are so fucked.
Yeah.
And my friend here, we were trying to remember, because she was like, oh yeah, I did jello shots at mile 8. I'm like, no, we did jello shots at mile 3, and you put a ton of that shit. You took a bunch of them and put them in your pocket.
Okay, so slightly to my defense, though, if you listened last week, I did not know this at the time, but I knew I had injured my foot.
Yes.
Badly.
During
the Outer Banks Marathon. I did not go see a doctor because they would have told me not to run, and I was going to run regardless. So I'm like, I'll just deal with this. This is the last race of the season. It's 26.2 miles. Let's just get her done, and I'll worry about it. I was self-medicating myself, thinking the more alcohol I drink, the less I would feel my foot, which kind of worked for a while. But then when you I don't know what it's like now with this slight change in course, but I remember that strip along the river was very quiet for a very long time.
Yes, it was around mile from 11 to 13.
Yes, and I got very sober, and it was on concrete. It was
on a concrete road.
Oh, it was concrete, and it was just pounding, and I felt like it was just on my foot. That spot, it was just like
that was tough because there was a lot of intervaling at that point in time, and like I was like, okay, girl, I was like, whatever we need to go and do, and I didn't know she'd get that desperate because, and this is not a dig on this beer, but my friend, as we have said in earlier episodes, she is a hazy IPA girl.
And I'm a bit of a beer snob.
And she's a little bit of a beer snob.
And leading up to this, there would be times people were like, beer, handing out beer on the course.
What kind is it? Is it a hazy IPA? Oh, and I want your beer. And I'm like, oh my God, you're such a bitch. Like
they'd be like Bud Light, and I'd be like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Ultra? No,
thank you.
No, not hazy IPA.
Oh, God.
So mile 13, they had a tent of a Miller Lite. And my friend here went and grabbed a Miller Lite, and she downed that shit. And I was like, oh, we've hit rock bottom, like completely rock bottom.
Yeah, I was feeling it. I was definitely feeling it. I'm like, I need to numb this. And I was taking a little ibuprofen. All this is really great for your liver. Please don't do this at home, kids.
Please don't do this at home. Yes, no.
You have to practice this. It's not safe. It's really not good.
Okay. All right. So there were a lot of jello shots and things like right at the beginning, start of the race. So that's what it set the tone.
It set
very,
the tone.
very early on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much throughout the race with the exception of that little river stint.
Yeah. Now, interesting enough, in 2018, there were 1,300, almost 1,400 people who were finishers of the race. Then in 2024, it was like 1,090. So it's a little drop off.
There is a little drop off. What I wasn't sure when I was looking this up was they also showed separately the people who did the center of the universe. So they have this. So
it's an ultra.
Yeah. With this race, you can do the 5K, the 8K, a half. There's a relay in the full. They have this weird little section where you can do what's called the center of the universe, where you add a 0.3. And it takes you to this little landmark within Tulsa that is like a weird phenomenon.
Totally weird.
You kind of stand in this little brick area.
It's like circular.
Yeah, it's circular. There's nothing really above you.
There's nothing above us, and there really isn't anything around you.
No.
And that's what's really weird.
But if you stand there, it's one of those spots where you hear your echo of your voice amplified louder back to you.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just it's a very odd, quirky spot.
It is so quirky. And do you remember when we were running into the center of the universe to go and kind of, I don't even remember what the hell we said when we hit that spot, but they had a dude who had a Woody station wagon, and he was dressed up like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, like the uncle, and he had like the bathrobe on and stuff and the trapper hat, and he was freaking hysterical. And I was like, oh my God, I love you, man. I think we have a picture of that.
I'm sure we do somewhere. Oh my God.
But it just made that moment like that much more weird.
It was so weird. And I think they are doing some, because it was a little beat up at the time. I think they're doing some construction to kind of beef up that area.
Zhuzh it up to
just a little,
yeah. It was a little rough. I was like, where are we running?
It is, but so we technically ran a 26.5 ultra that day.
Yes, and we actually got a little medallion, an extra medallion. So for those really of you on YouTube, you can see it, but it's an actual like kind of large coin, maybe like 3 inches in diameter, and you earn that by getting to the center of the universe.
Just gonna let that lie there.
Now the weather in Tulsa, Oklahoma, it was cold.
It was cold.
Yeah, it was cold. It was in the mid-30s when we started.
Yeah, like we were bundled up pretty tight.
And it stayed cold most of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we probably didn't feel it because we had drank a lot of alcohol while we ran this race.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Yeah.
Plethora.
Yes, just a little bit. All right, so before we jump into like the complete shenanigans of the race, we flew in to Tulsa on Friday, and the race was on a Sunday.
Yes.
So we kind of, did a couple of things on Friday, afternoon, evening, and then we played tourist on Saturday and got to go and see some stuff.
I think we picked up our bibs. We went to the expo, and I think it was a pretty decent expo from what I remember.
It was. The outside of the building was a little like, oh wow, this seems really kind of plain and very Midwest. It was just didn't have a lot of zhuzh to it.
Yeah.
And but I do remember that the expo was pretty decent. In fact, for those of you who are joining on YouTube, I'm actually wearing a quarter zip that Lori and I both bought at the expo. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm so glad we bought that.
Yes.
You probably picked it out first, and I was like, ooh, I like that.
I know. I was like,
get it too.
Look what I'm getting.
Twinning.
Yeah, always twinning. I would say probably like 80% of the time we twin.
Yeah.
On stuff.
Yeah, probably.
And especially things that like
not
we both
out
like.
and about when we're doing personal stuff.
No,
just when it comes
just,
to the
just
running
gear,
race stuff.
just the gear.
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
Yeah, just totally the gear. So we did eat lunch on that Friday at a place called Elote Cafe.
Fabulous.
Right?
Still open. Love that.
Yep. The food there was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And then where did we eat dinner?
We went to Tavola?
Yeah.
Tavolo.
It doesn't matter because it's not open anymore.
It's not closed, and we had some fabulous pizza.
It was absolutely fantastic pizza.
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, the next day, we ate breakfast at a place called Chimera.
Yeah.
Which I do recall, like that was a
good.
solid breakfast place.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah. That's the place where we sat kind of like over in a corner. Like, and they had like glass all in the front of the building, and I can't remember what I had to eat there, but
I just remember it being good.
Fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what ended up happening with your shoes because of the prior race?
Oh, I trashed my shoes after North Carolina because I was pretty sure that whatever happened was because my shoes were getting old. So I broke rule number one of never wearing new gear out on a course for a marathon for the first time. But no, we had to go shopping for new running shoes that day because I couldn't.
On Saturday, and the race was Sunday.
Yeah, because I trashed them, and then I went online to see if I could get a pair shipped to me, and I couldn't get a pair in time before I left. So I was like, they'll have a pair for me to buy when I get to Oklahoma. And they do have a little store there called Fleet Feet.
Yes. And you definitely lucked out because I was like, oh my God, dude, what are you going to do if you can't find your shoes?
I did.
Yeah.
I found them. You did. But it did cause some rubbing, and we had to do some stopping and let me body glide them up.
Because Lori, again, does not. Well, yeah. Were you wearing socks?
I was not, because it's above freezing.
Oh, God.
If it's above freezing, I won't wear
socks.
Can't
do that. Yeah. Lori doesn't do socks like if it's like above freezing. So,
no.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I appreciated on that Saturday walking around the town and learning more about Tulsa.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about it. The fact that, it came about because of the railroad.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it was born of the railroad in the late 1800s. Yep. And then I think it was it 1901? That they found oil.
Yeah. And then it was like the oil boom there.
Yeah, they had a huge oil boom.
So and it makes sense because the buildings, so Lori and I we've mentioned it in previous episodes. We appreciate, architecture and we'll go and check things out.
But I really feel like Tulsa kind of started some of that.
Yeah, I mean, Art Deco everywhere downtown. And we were like, "Oh my God, I would have never thought that this would be in Tulsa, Oklahoma."
Cuz I don't know what it's like post-pandemic. I've not been back to Tulsa, although, I'll get to that answer later. It it was like a sleepy downtown. It felt like the suburbs had a lot of stuff going on, but it like that downtown was primarily for work, probably like the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday thing. And wasn't really lived in on the regular. So when we were walking around and we would see a building that looked pretty, we're like, is the door open? And we just kind of
just walked in.
We walk in and check it out.
Take pictures and, just read plaques and look at pictures on the inside of the buildings, because some of them had like the history of the building.
Yeah, but the Art Deco, I mean, it was
spectacular,
so
and it was
gilded, like things gilded, like that old
and it looked pristine, like they kept it in pristine condition. So it looked like it probably did back when it was originally built.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was all in the early 20s, like late teens, early 20s. It was very pretty. There was a lot of little gems there that you could you had to hunt for, but they were definitely there.
Yeah, and then lunch again. We ate at another place that unfortunately has closed, called the Prairie Brew Pub, which I don't know. I really liked that. I really liked that place as well. Yeah,
that was a casualty of
I know.
COVID.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame
because we ate there twice.
We did.
And because it was that good, and the bar was that good.
The bar was excellent.
Yeah,
and
the beer was good.
You got some flights of beer as well.
Because that's what I needed that weekend.
That's totally because we weren't going to drink enough during the race.
Oh my God.
And then I liked the place that we went to called the Mother Road Market, and this is a little bit outside of town. We actually took an Uber there. Was this the place where we had to, I don't think we took an Uber. I think we took a Lyft because we had to do 2 stops because we didn't have a car to drop our.
No, I think we did separately. I think
did we still drop alcohol in this race?
We did drop alcohol.
God, what the fuck were we thinking?
That's where we took the Uber and dropped and came back. I don't know what were we worried that there wasn't going to be enough on course?
I think that we, despite hearing that it was a party race, we're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I have a picture of me holding like a purple can of beer that looks like one I would have bought.
Okay.
And you're holding like the cup from the hotel room.
Oh, yes, okay.
So like I think you maybe had Prosecco or something.
Yes, I probably had Prosecco again. Yeah, that's kind of my go-to.
with the hotel cup.
Yes, because that's classy that way.
Yeah.
But this Mother Road Market that we went to, we had pizza at a place called Zasa, which was excellent. And then they had this really cute outdoor area that had like AstroTurf and games for kids to play. So a lot of parents grab dinner, had some cocktails, watch their kids, and there just were lots of frolicking around,
little boutiques and stuff where you could get Route 66 hiding a merch and things in there too. That was really cool.
Yeah,
like a little market.
Yeah, and other restaurants.
Yeah.
So that was super, super nice. But then we had a funny thing happen with one of the hotels. So when we were coming back and we were downtown, you remember what happened?
I can't remember whether it was that the fire alarm was pulled or that there was their water shut down. Do you remember?
It was the water shut down because there were runners that had stayed at that hotel.
And it went on until like 2 a.m, didn't it? Like the night of the race.
Yes.
Before the race.
Yeah, and originally the hotel had to be evacuated. So when you and I were walking downtown, I think we had actually like bumped into some runners and they were like, yeah, that's our hotel and they don't have water. There was like some water main break or something.
Yeah.
And so they had the fire department outside and we were like, oh shit, man. Like, I'm so glad we did not stay at that hotel.
Yeah,
and I don't even remember what hotel it was. But
I think they were having to relocate people, but a lot of the hotels were already full.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad.
So these things happen, and you just... God, it didn't happen to us.
Thank God.
All right. So we started the race around 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
And this was a race that it had a 6-hour, 30-minute course limit.
Yes.
And, we went over that just a little bit.
Yeah, they still
do.
They do.
They do. They run the course.
They run the clock until 7.5 hours.
There we go. And because
you didn't hear that here.
And because you had a hurt foot and because we were like effing around like half of the time, then, it was to be expected. This was like, I think was this our one and only race that it took us over 7 hours to finish?
No, Estes Park.
Oh, yes.
And Hawaii. I think Hawaii may have been over 7 hours too.
Was it really? Oh wow.
I think so.
Yeah,
because
well we were screwing around and taking everything in there. Yeah, we were not rushing this. We're gonna milk this one to the very end.
That was number 50 state.
Yeah, yeah. But we did FaceTime Julie at the beginning of the start because she had done, a lot of races with us that fall. And it felt kind of weird, like at the start without her there.
It did.
Yeah.
We missed her.
So we FaceTimed her.
We did. Yeah. And I must have saved my cow from Baltimore. And because somehow it made its way to Tulsa at the start.
Yeah.
I was in full udders.
Yeah, you were uttering again.
It was utterly wonderful.
Yeah, you went there.
So bad.
You so went there.
That's so bad.
Yep. So then, we mentioned that at around mile 3-ish is where we picked up some rum chata shots, some jello shots. I do believe that there was a tequila shot there as well. So I think by like the halfway point of this race, there had to be at least like 7-8 beverages that were consumed at that point in time.
It's quite possible.
Yeah. There was one point where you grabbed a beer, and it was a good beer. And I think it was a can of beer. From just one of the spectators. They had a nice spread going on, and these people had extra alcohol for the runners, and everybody was stopping.
Everybody
was stopping. It was not just us.
No.
And so they gave you a whole beer, and you felt so bad because I was like, I don't have anything to drink with you. so you asked the ladies, do you have anything for my friend who has a gluten allergy? Do you have it Prosecco in there? She's like, I have champagne. And she ran in the house and poured me a special. And it was a big pour too. I was like, oh, good God, have mercy. I'm going to die. So that was kind of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. I can also remember at some point there was a tiki bar.
Oh, yes.
There was a tiki bar and they were doing jello shots there. There was that woman. I thought we had gotten laid at the tiki bar. We did not. We got laid by a lady that was wearing this big white T-shirt.
Cheers!
That was spray painted, air painted on there, like a very fit person.
Svelte,
with the bikini. Yeah. Even though that was not her figure.
Yes.
And then she was handing out shots and laying people as you.
Yes.
As you ran by,
yes.
we got laid.
But they were every neighborhood was egging people on, you want our stuff, you want to have our drinks. Our drinks are better than theirs.
I know.
Oh my God. So and at that point in time, things got kind of punchy. You know? So, yeah.
Very punchy. So punchy that when I was looking at the ground, there was parts in the neighborhood where the road looked like it had been hulked. The Hulk had come in and punched it, and I thought it was funny.
There was cracks everywhere.
And you have a picture of me pretending like I'm punching the road.
Yes.
I think it felt really good in theory, that picture, but secondarily looking at it, it's just not the same as it was in my head.
No. But I laughed with you and at you as well, and then eventually, because of consuming so many beverages around the course, Lori's tummy went a little rumbly.
Yeah,
it was utterly
disastrous.
And so I think I probably have about 5 or 6 Porta-John pictures, not of Lori in the Porta-John, but Lori was in the Porta-John, and I just took a selfie with me and the Porta-John.
I think there's a few of me coming out of them.
Yeah. So this is not a hobby for the weak stomachs.
No, it's not for the faint of heart.
But I do remember, and now this completely grosses me out. But it was after, because we planted our mile 20 beverages at a school.
Oh, the University of Tulsa.
Yes. And so it was right after we had finished our 20-mile beverage. And then we made a left-hand turn, and we were running down this road. And this group, it was a small group of maybe 3-4 people. They were in lawn chairs up on this little hillside. And we were giving them shit. We're like, what do you guys have to drink, and stuff. And the guy was like, I have a bottle of tequila. And I was like, bring it. So next thing you know, he runs down the hill. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I took a swig just like right out of the tequila bottle. I think about that now. And I'm like, what was I thinking?
You weren't. We were so deep in that race and deep in all of that. It was not good.
That was just so bad. That's not one of my proud moments, like at all.
I can remember. So in the Midwest, we don't spend a lot of time there. So every time we go or I see it, I always find it kind of alarming. We also ran by one of their gas stations there.
Yes.
That's called Come and
Go.
Go. But it's spelled K-U-M.
And
I don't know.
And we just had this like mild fascination with every time we saw Come and Go, we were like, we had to get our pictures taken with this stupid Wawa wannabe kind of Midwest store. So
yeah,
it was
Come and Go. I don't know where they came up with that name. That's okay.
But I don't know.
It is.
I don't know. It doesn't translate well for those of us in the Northeast. So
not really. No, it means something totally different to me.
Yeah. Now when we finished the race. Wait. I have to. I'm gonna back it up. Back it up. Do you remember the neighborhood where they were having a winter wonderland?
Yes.
And there was a lady
didn't they have a big inflatable snow globe?
They had a big snow globe, and then they had fake snow blowing.
Yes.
On their front lawn, and the lady was and she was cute too. Like she had like a white, like complete jumpsuit on with actual skis and stuff. And the people were taking their pictures with her.
Yes.
Like she was like,
a thing.
She was like a thing during the race.
Yes.
That was freaking hysterical.
I know. Tulsa, hats off to you.
Bravo.
Class act.
Core memories formed. I mean, again, we drank a lot during this race, but we had so much fun.
The people were amazing.
Yeah.
The race is amazing. It's such a great experience.
Yeah. And it was flat.
It was flat.
Flat. Yeah.
It was.
Yes. And we were very, very happy about that because that would have really sucked, like running downhill, in the state that we were in. So we eventually come across the finish line.
Yes, we did.
Little after 7 hours. And so we grabbed food and just like a little bit of stuff, at the VIP tent. Yeah. But then we made our way back into the brewery that we had eaten at the day before because we really liked their food. And it was right there.
And we bellied up to the bar.
We did.
I feel like I have a vivid memory of you flicking off the TV. So I'm thinking maybe we were watching the tail end of an Eagles game.
Yes, we totally
they were losing.
We totally were.
Yeah. And we had I don't remember who we met, but I remember sitting at the bar too and striking up a conversation with people around us. And it was just like we had such a great conversation with these people.
Yeah, they were also runners, and the one guy, he was killing time at the bar because he was leaving. Like I was like, dude, like I don't think we've ever done that, have
Never.
we? Never. I've done it. I did it when I ran in Poughkeepsie, New York. Mm-hmm. And so I was with Jim and Maddie, and we hopped in the car after I ran, and then we drove home.
Well, I did do that in Florida, too, but we were an hour and 15
Yeah,
from
this was
Disney.
like a 4-hour drive.
No, that's a lie, because I think we stayed at Disney. Never mind, because we did Metal Monday at Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely did that one time, and that was a terrible, terrible decision.
We kind of did it when we ran Kansas City and hopped in and then drove to Des Moines.
Well,
sorta.
Kind of, sorta. Yeah, I don't know if that really counts.
Maybe not, though.
Yeah, no.
Never go on a plane to fly.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Wait, did you say go on a plane to fly?
Well, yes, go on a plane to fly.
Oh my God. Dude, like that drink. Okay. So, Lori, the swag. We talked a little bit about the shirts that we bought.
Yes.
Right. And sometimes the giveaway shirts are really, really awesome in races. Sometimes they're wah-wah.
Yeah.
But these are the shirt that I have on. It's like a maroon quarter zip that we purchased. And we really like these. And it has like a really, really huge like Route 66 on the back of it. Now, what did they give as the handout?
I have it behind me. So if you're joining us on YouTube, you can see it. It's actually kind of unique because they actually give you a jacket, which I know you didn't love.
Which is unusual for races to give you a jacket.
Yeah, you didn't love it. I still wear it all the time, but it's a lovely little Route 66 jacket. It's just like a windbreaker, and I use it every winter when I start.
I didn't
as
like
a
the
running
elastic
jacket.
around the waist, and I didn't like the fabric because the fabric was I don't know. I feel like it got linted. It linted a lot. But you love it, so
I do.
Like I probably should have given you mine as well. You can have,
No,
could have two of them.
that's good. I don't need to.
Yeah, but I loved the medals.
Yeah,
the
medals.
The medals are absolutely fantastic.
Yes. They do like, if you can see them on YouTube, they do these lovely marathon maniacs on one side of it. I think they
because we had indicated on our registration that we were maniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were able to get the special ribbon for the maniacs. I think they have special ribbon for the 50 states. And then just the victory. I think that's victory.
Yeah.
And it spins. It's got a spinning feature to it.
With like wings on it and it's like the Route 66 logo.
I mean, it's just nicely done. Everything about this race, nicely done.
Very, very nicely done. So would you do it again?
Fuck yes.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I was already starting to think. I'm like, November?
Oh, bite your tongue, girl.
But then I'm like, that may be too much because we got Philly the week before.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be in the cards this year. Yeah, that might be next year. Look at me saying no. Oh my God, I just feel
that's
like
so much growth for you, Laura.
I have grown, haven't I?
Yes, that's wonderful. Would you do it again? Wait, we already said that,
yes,
didn't we?
Yeah, but that's okay. But I absolutely freaking would go and do this race again. This was an absolute blast. I can't imagine, the race, the climate of the race being different than what we did in 2018. Climate meaning like just the culture of the race.
Yeah.
And
because it still has that same reputation, the same draw of people.
Yes. So again, well done.
Yeah.
Folks of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, next week, we are super excited. We're going to break format a little bit. And, hopefully for those of you who are tuning in who like to travel, you're learning, about some really cool places to go, across the country. Well, the next episode, we're venturing outside of the United States and we're going to Peru.
Yay!
And we will talk about a absolutely fantastic, like once in a lifetime trips that we did with a couple of other people and our spouses. And we went and hiked the Inca Trail and went to Cusco, Peru, and Machu Picchu, and Lori fortunately had a little extended trip, so she's going to share a little bit more about what she saw. Versus, I had to go back home early. But, this is just, we're very, very excited to break format. And these are the types of things that we want to share with you. So it's not just like really, really cool things that like 50-plus-year-old ladies can go and do running marathons, but we can hike shit too.
Oh, we can hike shit.
We can hike shit.
Yep. We hiked some shit on that one.
We did. So we're very, very excited about talking to you about it and, just maybe, kind of planting the seed for you next week on actually going there. So, hey, we greatly appreciate you all hanging with us. Again, check us out on our socials. Like us, subscribe. Please subscribe. And now go make mile 20 your bitch this week.
Peace out.